Hey guys, Paul here. What happened to structure decks in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG? Like, seriously, I can't be the only person who's noticed that we haven't gotten any new ones this year. There aren't any structure decks. Where did they go? This is worrying. So the reason why I was thinking about this is because I was going to the local Walmart and Targets and GameStops in search of retro packs for our new series on the other channel, Retro Rivals. Check it out if you haven't already, it's really good. But I noticed that, yeah, there aren't any new Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure decks on the shelf. I'm like, what's that about? The last new structure deck that we got was the Fire King deck last year back in December, and it was a great structure deck. Amazing, right? Really strong, good deck, ended up kind of being a meta contender, and that's great and all. But like, what's next? All they've done this year is they technically released the two-player starter decks back in like January, which it's not a structure deck and it's not a good product either. But other than that, we've gotten some reprints of very old structure decks. Like we're talking, you'll always find Saga of the Blue Eyes White Dragon on the shelf for whatever reason. I guess it sells well. But they reprinted the Realm of Light structure deck from 2014. Yeah, these don't count either. We need new structure decks. Structure decks like serve a really important purpose in this game. They are good like sort of entryway products for people, right? A structure deck that you can buy 3 copies of is a good thing. Like the Shaddoll structure deck was one of those, the Trap Trick structure deck. Obviously, like I said, the Fire King structure deck. They're just great. They also can provide support for old archetypes or themes, like Dark World got this whole sort of revitalization with the structure deck. Same with Crystal Beast, same with Trap Tricks. And so that's really cool, but we just don't have any of that right now. And it's strange. I don't think that it's like an overall Yu-Gi-Oh! Product problem because the sets this year have been really good. I think that all of the mainline sets, Phantom Nightmare, Legacy Destruction, Infinite Forbidden, Raid of the Abysses around the corner, they've all been pretty good. Like honestly, they've been pretty solid. Nothing that you can really complain about. I know that like the tins haven't been perfect and stuff, but like products have been fine this year overall. There's just no structures. And the last reason that structures are important is just because they're sort of an advertisement for the game in general. There are a lot of people who want to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! And having a product that you can just recommend to somebody is great. Oh, and I also forgot, there's the reprints. Structure decks usually do have good reprints. Sometimes it's reprinting hand traps or pot cards, and we haven't really gotten any of that. The best reprint sets that we've gotten are the kind of middling Rarity Collection 2, and then like the tins, and you know how people feel about the tins. So like, what's up? The OCG, or Japan rather, does not seem to really be having this problem. They got those really cool new tactical tri decks earlier in the year, which are great. That was the ones where it was like Eldritch and Evil Twins and Cyber Dragons, and those were decks that were meant to be sort of built like how you might build a rental deck for Master Duel. And so that was sort of supposed to be a thing that people could buy, and then like, you play it in real life, and you play it in Master Duel, or vice versa, and it's sort of a good gateway product. And they were even built with like somewhat competitive play in mind. Like they would have multiples of cards and like hand traps and all that stuff. But also, Japan has gotten its own new structure deck as well. There's the Advent of the Blue Eyes deck, which actually has really, really, really good Blue Eyes White Dragon support cards. Like Blue Eyes is typically, in the Dark Magician and all that stuff are sort of a meme where it's like, okay, the anime cards get new support every few years, they get thrown on the cover of things, but they suck, right? Like they can't really like win events. There have been a few exceptions in the past, but like it just doesn't really happen. That's not the case with this Blue Eyes deck. If you haven't read the cards in the new like OCG Blue Eyes structure deck, take a look. They're strong. The deck is actually doing pretty well over there. It's like making a dent. And that would be so exciting to have over here, right? Like, I'm a Blue Eyes fan. Everybody deep down in their darkest of hearts is a Blue Eyes fan. And that's probably why that old 2013 Saga of the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck gets reprinted and thrown on Walgreens and Target shelves into infinity, is because people recognize Blue Eyes. It's an advertisement for the game. You want to just be like, oh, can I build a Blue Eyes deck? That was my favorite old monster. And so that's why that product probably does well. And so it's also why they like revisited it with a structure deck, I would assume. But we still haven't actually gotten an announcement of the Blue Eyes structure deck for the TCG. And that's just weird. Like, I'm not super concerned that it won't happen eventually, but like, I don't know. Sometimes Konami's a little bit weird. Like I remember the Dragoonity structure deck, for instance, got imported into Ghost from the Past, which was odd. Like they didn't give it a proper structure deck. They were just like, here, It's a ghost from the past. You got to pull it. And I was like, okay, that's weird. I think that it would have worked better as a structure. They also are doing like some of these support things, like the Battles of Legend Terminal Revenge, you guys might remember that like supported Ritual Beast and Ice Barrier and stuff. Sometimes I think those would be better done as structure decks. Sometimes I think the deck builder sets, where it's like, the 3 archetypes, like the upcoming ones like Raziel and Malice and stuff, sometimes I think those could work really well as structure decks. I'm also surprised that the Atlantean Mermail cards didn't get a structure deck, because if Fire King got one, then it would make sense that Atlanteans and Mermails would get one, since within the lore of like Yu-Gi-Oh, they are like kind of at war and combat with each other, and they both got structure decks back in like 2013, 2012, 2013. So I don't know. It just, that seems a little bit strange, like a bit of a missed opportunity, especially because you could really market this whole fire versus water thing. I always imagine this like sort of 2-player structure deck where it's like literally one person gets the fire, one person gets the water. You and a friend can grab it and have some fun, get 3 of it, perfect. I know that, the Mermail Atlanteans only got like 5 new cards, whereas I guess Fire King's got a few more. So maybe it wasn't even, but that's something that they would have known ahead of time and could have accounted for. So I don't know what's up with that. It's just a little strange. Like, I'm trying to think of reasons why Konami wouldn't just already announce the Blue Eyes deck. And it's not too late for them to. Like, I could literally upload this video today and then maybe the announcement like comes out tomorrow that we're getting the Blue Eyes deck, and then all of this was for nothing and I'm just kind of whining about nothing, right? But I guess I'm just concerned that they weren't in more of a hurry to announce a really big bombshell product like a Blue Eyes structure, and what it could just maybe mean. Like, is Konami not, concerned about this? Like, do they think that maybe Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't need structures anymore? Like, I'm probably just putting words in their mouth, right? Like, we don't have that much reason to be concerned, right? Right? But still, I don't know. It's just weird. I would like to hear some announcements, maybe to quell my fears and make me not feel so, I guess, like tense and on edge about the whole thing, because I like structure decks. I also like structure decks because they're good content, right? It's like good channel stuff and all that. I can always kind of spin the latest 2 structure decks, and that'd be fun. But there's still so many ideas that I feel like Konami can explore with that, right? Like, they did a poll for the archetypes people wanted to see structure decks of, and they made structure decks for pretty much all those archetypes. So do another poll, make more structures. Like, why the sort of weird, bizarre slowdown? If anybody knows or has like hunches, I guess no one like really knows except Konami, but if anybody's got hunches, I would like to know. I want more structures in the game. I think that we could use some reprints of some cards. The Blue Eye, like the set list for the Blue Eye structure is great. It's got like Nibiru, Ash Blossom, Veiler, Called By, like there's good cards in that. And if they wanted to do other structures, there's like plenty more cards that are always welcome reprints. So, I mean, since they're making it so hard to pull in the tins, maybe give us something that's guaranteed. Okay, yeah, I've blabbed long enough. That's my little yapping about structure decks. I want to know how people feel about this. It's not a big concern to everybody, right? Like, I think that if you've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for a really long time, then technically the idea of a new structure deck isn't all that exciting. I mean, it's exciting if it's your archetype that you want, or maybe if there's like the one nice reprint or something you want to get your hands on. But like generally, maybe you can take them or leave them. I just think that a structure deck would be cool. Like, I don't know, it feels nice when there's new structures coming out. Okay, cool. Well, I've gone on long enough. That's going to be it. Let me know what you think about it all down below in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Best turn.